Tzu Chi volunteers head back to continuously care for the Southern California wildfire-affected residents. We look into the reasons behind why both perpetrators and survivors of domestic violence are younger in age. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Cyclone Idai has caused floods in Malawi, destroying houses. Tzu Chi volunteers have started reconstructing new houses for the residents in Blantyre area.
In Malawi, Tzu Chi volunteers continue to rebuild houses for the residents in Blantyre area. As days go by, the street vendors are now familiar with the volunteers. Whenever they see the volunteers, they will greet them with joy.
From the past few days, these street vendors have become familiar with us. They understood that we are here to help them. Therefore, they are willing to make a few contributions as a way to show their gratitude.
As we can see, most of the houses are built with mud bricks. Whenever it rains, many of them will collapse. The volunteers hope the residents don't need to live in dangerous and unsafe houses.
First, the reconstruction works needs to be approved by the tribal chief. Then the residents can move to higher ground temporarily. All the process and everything need to go through the tribal chief.
During the construction work, the men are responsible for mixing the cement powder to make the concrete. As for women, they're in charge of getting the water by the stream, which isn't as easy as it seems. They need to go through many uphill and crossing the cornfields in order to get to the destination.
These volunteers are mostly women. They need to go uphill and downhill in order to get to the stream. And they will carry pots of water on their heads and walk back to the construction site. As you can see, it's a very difficult task. I was deeply moved by their dedication.
The reconstruction work will take 5 days to finish. Currently, a few houses are almost done. The local residents are excited about moving into the new houses as well.
In December 2017, wildfires led to evacuations in Southern California. The mudslides took place in January of 2018. U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for the affected residents ever since.
In December 2017, the massive wildfire had threatened Ventura and Santa Barbara County of Southern California. After the wildfires, the affected area has been drenched with heavy rain, leading to mudslides. Southern California has encountered a sequence of natural disasters, leading residents to lose their home. Tzu Chi U.S. headquarters have been caring and helping the affected households ever since.
And my heart is full, and these tears are gratitude. They're happy tears for, for people taking care of us.
A year has passed, but volunteers still carry out long-term care plans for the affected households. Lalo is one of the care recipients who had lost his partner, leading him to have serious post-traumatic stress disorder. The volunteers have come to help him.
Through my experience and what I've gone through, I've realized that I'm not alone. I feel joy and happiness to have you guys here and visit with me. So there is a way out, and there's a way to find joy and happiness, and I'm searching that.
Jennifer is another care recipient who was diagnosed with cancer. Most of the time, her son and husband have a hard time understanding her worries. This is why she will always talk to the volunteers about her stress whenever they visit.
I don't really tell anyone. I try to hold it all inside. So when you come, you guys, I feel bad sometimes because I just open up and I feel so loved and so, I feel like you're my sisters almost. So it has been amazing.
All of them have their own reasons for seeking help. When we visited them, not only will we provide assistance, but also we'll deliver love and care for them. We want to let them know that they are not alone while facing these difficulties. I believe this is what being a Tzu Chi volunteer is all about, to spread the spirit of great love all around.
Although the road to recovery is still a long way to go, but the volunteers will always stay by the affected residents, helping and encouraging them in this journey.
Myanmar Tzu Chi volunteers have conducted mung bean seeds and rice seed distributions, helping the flood-affected farmers. During the event, many local volunteers also came to help. Recently, a special gathering was held for them.
A special gathering was conducted for the volunteers who have participated in the mung bean seeds and rice seeds distributions.
The mung bean seeds distributions were held in November 2018, and in February of 2019, we came back to conduct rice seed distributions. Many local volunteers have come to help us during both events. They were devoted and also enjoyed their work. In addition, they really want to join Tzu Chi. So today, we invited volunteers to come here. In the future, we look forward to see them join the big Tzu Chi family.
After the severe cyclone Nargis in 2008, Tzu Chi volunteers in Myanmar have been caring for the local residents. Through the distribution events, many people have been inspired to join Tzu Chi, hoping to walk the Bodhisattva path.
I'm glad that Tzu Chi can come and help us. I came from a family of farmers, so I know how hard farming is. My family has received help from the rice seed distribution. I'm very grateful to Tzu Chi. I would like to learn from the volunteers on how to help people in need.
I am not wealthy, but I still want to help Tzu Chi do good deeds. Tzu Chi was founded by Dharma Master Zen Yen with 5 disciples and 30 housewives. It all started with saving a few cents from their grocery money into the bamboo coin banks. Now more than 90 countries have received help from the foundation. This shows that you don't need to be rich in order to help others. After receiving my bamboo coin bank, I will do the same thing to save money and help those in need.
At the end of the gathering, volunteers have distributed gifts for the volunteers. Everyone was filled with joy. Both Tzu Chi volunteers and local volunteers hope the spirit of kindness can spread across the country to places that need more help.
In order to teach children what to do if a disaster strikes, Tainan DaAi Preschool held an earthquake and fire drill. The children learned not to panic, but instead to listen to the teacher for instructions.
地震地震，全校师生请立即就地避难。地震地震，全校师生请立即就地避难。
During the earthquake drill, we see all the children of the Tainan DaAi Preschool hurriedly hid under the tables. However, there was another emerging situation. Under the guidance of the teachers, the children quickly put on their protective hoodies. No one was panicking. Each child evacuated in a very calm and swift manner.
When an earthquake comes, if you don't hide well, you will get hit with things. So you have to kneel down and hold on tight.
I learned not to shout, not to run around, and not to push others.
After a disaster, the teachers have to do a careful inspection, both inside and outside the classrooms.
The main thing to check for is the lighting fixtures in the classrooms. Need to see if there's a danger of them falling down. Also the ceiling fans and the cabinets. We will check each and every one of them.
We can use some simple firefighting mechanics to let them understand how certain things work, like how it's due to the angle of the ladder truck that it can rise so high up, letting them experience at firsthand how it feels like to be on the ladder truck when it is rising up.
In addition to the disaster drills that took place, the preschoolers also got to experience a day as little firefighters. Through regular scheduled hands-on experiences and trainings, it can greatly help in future emergency situations.
The annual Veggie Passport event is now underway in Malaysia. Children at several Tzu Chi kindergartens in northern Malaysia are preparing for the event. Let's join them there.
The Vegetable Passport event will get started, so the children at the Penang Tzu Chi kindergarten are preparing themselves for the event.
The space technicians' main jobs are to build a space shuttle and a space tunnel. And on the day when the kids are officially going to the vegetable planet, the technicians are also responsible for launching the space shuttle.
The event will be held for 2 weeks. In the first week, the kids will experience the beauty of colors and they can touch the colors by hand. In the second week, we have hands-on activities. The kids will cut paper and glue paper together.
In Payang Le Pass, the children learn sign language and rehearse for a skit. They hope to influence more people to change their eating habits.
你从胖胖身上你学到什么东西？
其实爱动物，去拯救地球。我们有唱歌、比手语、跳舞，也还有演戏。
为什么你们要做这个？
因为我们给各位家长看，跟各位小朋友看，因为我们要让他们吃素。
The children at Butterworth Tzu Chi kindergarten have become little chefs. learning the basic cooking skills.
I've learned to cut things, to cook things, to push buttons, and to pick up things with tongs.
Those 6 years old have some experiences because we have let them cut with a knife. Those 4-year-olds have never used a knife or scissors before, so the teachers will let them tear food with their hands. This will let them develop their muscle strength.
Children and teachers at these kindergartens in northern Malaysia are promoting vegetarianism because they want to save our Mother Earth from climate change.
According to the Ministry of Health and Welfare, both the perpetrators and survivors of domestic violence are becoming younger. The Good Shepherd Foundation believes that this phenomenon is related to complex family arrangements and a weakening social support structure.
In fact, the issue of domestic violence has always been with us. Because it is now reported in the media, we think it is happening more often.
Our education really tells us that we have to face up to our own unhappiness. In fact, many parents who abuse their children are unhappy. Many times they transfer their own frustration to their children.
At one of our centers, between 5 to 8% a year are mothers under 25 years old. Many of the people we contact are unmarried single-parent families. Some of these mothers may live more difficult lives. We often say big kids taking care of little kids. Young people caring for children may not have the right psychological skills.
Many people who marry early are trying to recreate a good family life. But they came from problem families and never solved these problems, which have caused them to be unhappy. Some are looking for a Prince Charming, but after marriage, they can be quite disappointed.
The other half of the relationship may not be so stable or fulfill needs. So of course, this could transfer over to the children, who may face many difficulties when it comes to discipline. Sometimes mealtime is a source of major conflict when parents care for their children.
吃这么久还剩这么多，你们两个在做什么嘛？不想吃啊！你挑食了哈？那你嘞？啊，不要再戳他了。不想吃是不是？好，没有关系，通通都不要吃，都不要吃。你呀，你奇怪了，哎，叫你不要吃啊，你看起来很想吃嘛，吃嘛，你吃啊，你吃啊。
Violence is affecting young people because the person who is giving the abuse may have experienced the same thing. Their emotions may be unstable, and when becoming a mother or father, they can't handle it. Therefore, the problem begins with our education and our family life.
The more unhappy you are in your family may lead you to seek a partner early in life, but this won't solve the problem, as two people may be dealing with problems. I would recommend that you don't have children right away.
We are also very worried about these videos and photos. I hope that the public won't share these videos. This can lead the child to be harmed twice. It can lead to other people imitating. It will make it harder for the survivor to recover.
In our next report, we'll meet Tzu Chi volunteer Luo Shuzhen. She married a husband who was into drinking and gambling. She endured the pain until she joined Tzu Chi. Eventually, her husband also joined Tzu Chi to do recycling and changed his bad habits.
They say that a woman should not marry a husband that likes to gamble or drink, and my husband loves both. There's no word to describe my pain. When I was pregnant, he left me alone at home, and he didn't even think that I needed someone to take care of me.
At my workplace, everyone gathered to drink or gamble. I drink every night with my friends, and I can go many rounds for the whole night. I also gamble if someone invites me to. I never say no.
Every night when he's not home, I started to worry that he's out drinking again, and if he would get caught by the police again. I can't tell you how frightening it was, but the pain was really unbearable. One year, my daughter invited me to Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall when she saw me feeling depressed. As soon as I went in the hall and saw the Buddha, I began to cry. I prayed to the Buddha that I hope he can change my husband and my family so that I can have a brand new life. When I returned home, I started to watch DaAi television, and I saw their show Grassroots Buddhi. Later on, I asked my husband if he would like to use his free time to do recycling at night, and he said yes.
On the first day of the training, I had a whole day of classes. Afterward, I refrained from cigarettes, alcohol, betel nut, and gambling. It's really strange how it happened. In the class, I saw the video of cows and pigs being killed, and their blood was everywhere in the slaughterhouse. From that day on, I became a vegetarian.
Somehow I can't raise my arm one day. First my left arm and then my right arm too. I started to get very fatigued and can't get enough sleep even if I slept all day. I didn't know I was sick until my hands swelled and I can't even do simple movements. A sister suggested me to do a blood test, and I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, a type of immune system disorder. However, when I saw that many volunteers in the Grassroots Buddhi have conquered their pain to serve, despite suffering more serious illnesses than me, it inspired me to not stay negative, but to use my time to help those that are less fortunate. My most joyful and grateful thing is that my husband and I can join Tzu Chi together. It has changed my entire family and my husband's bad habits. It has set a great example for my children too. I'm thankful to Dharma Master Zhen Yan for founding Tzu Chi, so that we can walk the Bodhisattva path and have a second chance in life. Now I pray every day that I can invite more people to join Tzu Chi, so more people can do good deeds in our society.
Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Meichong's husband used to spend a lot of time playing video games. Unable to change her husband's bad habits, Chen went to volunteer at a recycling station. Later, her husband passed away due to cancer. Facing such impermanence, she once fell into depression. Fortunately, with the love and care of other Tzu Chi volunteers, she regained her strength.
Meichong, see here, is it more here? You can use this with more egg white.
Tzu Chi volunteers are attentive to details when they cook. If Chen Meichong is given a job, she will see it done. She became a volunteer because her husband lost himself in video game. Whenever she felt down, she would do recycling to adjust her feelings. She also hoped this.
If I join the training, I hope to persuade my husband to undergo volunteer training.
However, the impermanence can come without warning. While Chen and her husband were getting closer to each other, her husband suffered from cancer and passed away. Other fellow Tzu Chi volunteers helped her overcome her grief.
While I was in extreme pain, I would say it to other volunteers, and they'd listen to me.
Tzu Chi family warmed her heart, so she became more spirited in doing Tzu Chi's work.
My son said why I came despite my cold. I'm Master's good disciple, so I have a sense of mission and responsibility.
Chen Meichong has put aside her grief to embrace a brighter future. She now walks on the Bodhisattva path with her fellow volunteers.
At the Tzu Chi Tainan Anping Liaison Office, 2 Mormon missionaries plan to sell their recyclables, but learned that Tzu Chi also handles these goods. They decided to simply join the recycling station and do the sorting work together.
Taking off the ring on the bottle and draining the remaining liquid is the work of these 2 young missionaries. They are well dressed in collared shirts, which catches the eye of other recycling volunteers.
I find it very fun. If we can recycle, we can help the world.
Wanting to help the world become a better place, these Mormon missionaries are doing their part. Every week, they find time to come to Tzu Chi's Anping Liaison Office to do recycling. Their first visit was actually a mistake.
When they first came, they brought the recycling here and told me that they would like to sell it to us. I told them that everyone here is doing volunteer work and we don't buy recyclables.
After figuring out their mistake, they became committed to this cause of recycling and environmental protection.
When they come to Taiwan, they're on a rotation. It's not always 2 people and not always just 1 person.
We just heard of the opportunity to serve. Although we came to preach, our overall mission is also to serve.
Doing good things regardless of national boundaries and religion is what they have shown. While they change locations every 6 weeks, the world is a better place with more people doing recycling and environmental protection.
The Department of Child Development and Family Studies of the Tzu Chi University has established a Yapi theatrical troupe for 15 years already. They've been performing for children in remote regions of Hualien, spreading love and joy. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.